Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all-Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly.
You know
Did
me,
you
man.
lose your shot?
Once I'm locked in, I can't really.
Wait, did you move at all?
No,
You're sure?
the chair did not move. I contorted my torso.
Okay, so you're in the shot still.
Yeah, I better be.
All right.
That's why I don't move, bro. Because I don't want to get out. You know, I'm.
Bro, I'm just jabbaing it right now. I don't move.
Dude, I do.
I don't move.
Dude, I am literally jobbing. Wait, well, how did you say that? I am literally
I'm jabbaing it.
jabbaing it. Yeah, I am Jabba right now. Okay.
You know what the great thing is? This is all recording too.
Oh,
So,
good. You can use it as.
We
some
might have
outro
just
stuff.
started the podcast.
Did we?
I don't know. Starting with your jabbaing it.
That's fine.
Yabbaing.
That yeah.
Yabbing.
Is
It's
that
like
what you call it?
jabbing, but it's yabbing. Jobbing.
It just means staying stationary and
Yeah.
not moving.
Yeah.
Mike's like, the shot is set up.
You
do not
don't
move.
move.
I swear if
I
you move.
swear to God.
That's what that's the days of old, man, when I used
That's
to
right.
just, remember that?
Yeah.
Ed had a pillow on his back and everything else.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, I was like,
It's like we've gotten younger.
but yeah, maybe. Those were dark days.
They were very.
Those were the
dark.
days when the technology was just like, we had the
Spotty.
iPhone. Yeah. We had, things were crashing.
But it was good for a while though.
Yeah.
We had a good run.
Everything was split. The converters going everywhere.
Yeah, we did.
I mean,
was
seriously,
great.
the only thing we were missing was like a compressor for the hyperdrive.
Yeah,
You know,
which is crucial.
now we've bypassed it,
It's true.
so we're good. Oh,
I
my
think that's
gosh.
the episode opener.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yabba.
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today, my friend?
As we're catching up on a lot of theories, a lot of questions from listeners and our friends, and I think we might just title this segment "Pondering with Kenobi and Friends,"
Yeah,
unless something else, much more catching comes along.
During meditation, something might come out. Yeah.
I think that's probably what we're gonna go with.
gotcha. Okay,
I'm gonna need a good 30 minutes of meditation just for a title.
that's fine. Hey, take your time.
Okay. Okay.
We took plenty of time setting up today.
You
so.
just you work on the hyperdrive. I'll work out
Oh,
on the
that's
title.
fine. That's fine. Well, hey guys, welcome to Rebel Watch. Yeah, we're going to. This is a little pondering with Kenobi and friends. We've got some voicemails. We've got some Facebook group comments. The Facebook group has been a pleasant
Yes.
holiday gift for us.
Yeah.
my friend, it's been fantastic. Really, really nice to hear from a lot of different folks. We've got Jory and Hawk listening right
Come on.
now live. A couple other folks, participating in the Facebook group. So, yeah, just been
Let's
a lot
go.
of fun. A lot
Let's
of fun.
go. I mentioned to you the other day as that I love being at work for a little while, letting some time pass. Makes it sound like I don't work, but letting some time pass, and I'll just open up Facebook and just be like, what are all the folks doing? What are
know.
people talking
I
about?
know.
And one of the last ones I just saw was I can't remember who posted it. I'll have to look it up, but the new Vader's Castle Lego set had come out.
Oh, that was Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah, Hawk was he was just like, guys, I mean, I know this might be a little crazy, but like, I mean, could we see the castle? And I was just like, let's go. These are Star Wars fans because we're speculating off of the merchandise coming
From
out.
Legos,
I just
yeah.
love it. I love it so much. I have got to get back in there and start dropping some theories and some questions. But I mean, those guys
Right.
are fantastic, and the conversation just continues to flow. And I could not be more happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys haven't had a chance to, you definitely need to check that out. Cool little feature. We tried to let people know ahead of time when we're going to be, casting and things. So we're just check out the Facebook, like that.
You guys might be
for
thinking
updates.
too, maybe you guys were in Central Standard Time there when we put. No, we were just 2 hours late.
Yeah, we were 2 hours late.
It
Yeah.
was 7:30 Eastern Standard, and we are 2 hours behind.
Right, exactly. So lots of fun stuff here, ready to go. Another quick update though, just for the show. We're actually gonna perfect. When I say this on the podcast, it has to happen. Mike
Yeah.
and I have this new, agreement where it's like, if it's said here,
right.
it happens.
I mean, it's documented. It's a verbal agreement,
Right. We
Recorded. That is a legal binding contract.
Yeah, we are not messing around anymore with that. So you guys hold us to it, and but we are talking about basically moving this setup down to your basement.
Yeah, that's right. That makes it sound like we're just getting poorer.
But we're not. It's
And-
actually
yeah.
pretty nice basement.
Yeah, actually, I'm just moving down in the basement, and that's where I'm going to spend my
That's
time.
where you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm just going to, defecate down there and also
Hey,
just podcast.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it down there. But so we're going to set that up so that way we don't have to go through all the setup. We can kind of give you your dining room back a little bit.
Well, it's cooler down there, too.
Yeah.
So as always complaining about the lights, I said, as one day the shot's going to pay off. And people are going to look back,
Okay.
years from now, they're going to say, wow, those guys were doing it professionally, in 2019.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Rule of who? That's what I want to say.
Rule of who? Yeah, we're
You know?
coming for you,
We're
Riley. I love you. But we're coming for that podcasting.
We want to be on,
Yeah.
but
Have us on.
We'll see.
Have us
we'll see.
on.
So anywho, let's get into some of this stuff though, and just a couple updates there.
Yeah.
We also have a big collaboration coming up with Rebel Scum. We've got James.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked to him.
Yes, it has. It's almost been a year actually, which is scary.
Yeah.
To think about. It's kind of flown by, but we're going to talk with him and see how he's doing. Check in with him and Rebel Scum.
Yeah.
And we've got a few more. Again, those collaborations are kind of we're full. We are full of. We've got a lot of folks that we want to talk to, and I'm kind of surprised at the amount of response we've gotten from folks. So real excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was just my dad texting.
Was it?
Wasn't Mark
Okay.
Hamill. Yeah. No. Yeah. He's
Unfortunate.
wow. He's asking me. He just dropped a presidential quote on me and asked me who said it. That was
Seriously.
so strange, but I loved it. But
Thanks, Dad.
I'm gonna send him a Jedi quote. I'm gonna say which Jedi said it.
Yeah. Slam.
And he'll be like, "I've never seen him."
God, dude. Hey, I just
know.
actually
It's sad.
showed my dad The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
And he loved it, right?
He loved them. Yeah. And he was like, I thought he had thought he had seen them before, but I'm like, nah, you haven't seen these.
Nah, Dad. I mean, these
Yeah.
came out recently, and
Yeah.
it's been a while for
Yeah.
Papa Kirk.
So he was loving it. He's like, where's the next one? I was like, episode 9. You're with us now, Dad.
Yeah.
It is not out yet, okay? So join the club. I will let you know.
Oh, that's
So-
awesome. That's
so-
awesome. Yeah.
All right. What are we starting with?
Let's
We have-
get to it. Let's get to the
voicemails?
voicemails. Yeah, man, we got a lot of voicemails.
We're risking this because we haven't
Yeah.
proofread.
Yeah.
Proofread? I don't think we can proofread.
Well-
proof listen.
You can proof listen, but I mean, you can't even proofread these things because these transcriptions are bonkers from Google.
Yeah.
But
They're encrypted.
sometimes we will risk it, and sometimes Ez will take a listen and be like, hey, you got to listen, or you need to wait for this one. I want you to be shocked because
Right.
we don't want anything extremely insane,
Right.
being said. Like if someone goes on some like racist rant, like that's not getting on the podcast.
That's not happening, yeah.
So we can always post edit this if we absolutely had to, but I trust the listeners, and I think we got good people participating. So we're going with it. And if the transcription is correct on this one, as we have a Charlie here, a listener on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Charlie Sarabian. Love the podcast, firstly. Most obvious thing that I want to say.
Thanks, Charlie.
Secondly, I've been meaning to leave a voicemail for some time, actually. You guys always talk about such awesome stuff. But one thing that I wanted to discuss, actually, was about the concept of what the Jedi do during meditation. And kind of something interesting that I wanted to relate to it in terms of like real life meditation. There's a book that you can get on Amazon called Minding Minds. And basically what it is a compilation of different teachers, like Buddhist teachers from Korea and China and Japan. And, I was actually watching The Last Jedi recently and thinking about the prequels and how much attention they pay to visions and prophecy and all these things. But in this book, one of the monks, he basically straight up says, when you meditate, you may have visions. You may see things that aren't real. You may hallucinate. You may fall into a dream state that shows you things that are, that bring you great joy, or you might see things that are really terrible, or you might, as I said, you might hallucinate. You might have your eyes completely open and see somebody that actually doesn't exist. But what he says is that you should absolutely 100% ignore those. You should ignore those because they're basically versions or visions of your subconscious mind just sort of like acting on its own. and I always thought that was interesting, and it made me wonder how much, like, George Lucas or, you know, like during the original trilogy or the prequels, or even if JJ or Rian as directors, if that was anything that they really ever thought about. You know, especially like Yoda, for instance, being, you know, 900 years old, and even a little bit older upon his death. If, you know, he ever being so old, would he ever have come across something that was like, yeah, you know, maybe all this prophecy stuff isn't really something we should pay much attention to. Because it certainly is something that all the other Jedi pay attention to in the prequels and, you know, even throughout The Last Jedi. You know, everybody is acting on these supposed visions that they have, and none of them are right. They're all completely wrong. So anyways, just wanted to drop that sort of real-world connection there.
Wow. I mean,
I think he got cut off at the 3 minutes, so sorry about that, Charlie. That was a fantastic call.
Yeah, I'm glad we got everything in there. That's beautiful. Thanks again, man. That dude, I got chills.
Yeah.
When he started.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that is, people have heard me say this before.
Come on.
The Force, man. I love
It
it.
flows through us, man.
It does.
And I'm not
It
just talking
binds
about
us.
psychopathy.
I know you're not. I just looked up that book. I think he said
Minding Minds.
Minding Minds.
Well, either
Minding the Mind.
minding minds, but mining minds, maybe. I mean, we talk about mining things all the time. I kind of like
Yeah.
that, but the transcription has it as minding minds.
That's actually what I have that here. It's talking about a mental reflection, thinking about your own thinking, you know, type of thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting, you know, the subconscious not really, or kind of acting on its own.
Yeah.
You know, and how you should possibly ignore some of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, so he brings up kind of, you know, that Asian culture and some of the connections, some of the very obvious connections that George Lucas kind of touched upon a little bit, I think, when he was writing the original Star Wars, but I don't even know if he knew at the time what he was, you know, what he was creating. I think it evolved over time, especially when you start talking about the metachlorians and things like that. So it's almost like he didn't even have a full idea of where he was going with it, but over time it's just kind of, and now you have other influences.
Sure.
So it's hard to pinpoint if he had specific things that he was referring to and
Well,
Buddhist monks and
I mean, one of the things that it seemed like, you know, and whether you said Charlie, right? It was just
Charlie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it was something that might have been going on with Yoda there, if you trying to apply some of that real world connection pieces that, like, you know, through his age and his experiences, he's obviously he's seen a lot
Seen
more
some stuff, yeah.
and he's probably had premonitions or he's had visions. He's done a lot of meditation.
Yeah.
And he does know, I think he can speak with authority to the fact that, you know, it's in motion.
Yeah.
Right, that it's always in motion, and he tries to warn Luke, you know, about these different things. But and you don't really, we can't even answer because, like, you know, Yoda does kind of seem to confirm that, like, possibly he himself, even that moment in Empire Strikes Back, where Luke kind of tells him what is happening with his friends, you know, in Cloud City, and Yoda even closes his eyes and tries to see into the future, right on the spot, which is like something you almost miss. And as he looks, he kind of he has that thought that it could happen.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of confirms what Luke is seeing and saying it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But if you want to honor what they're fighting for, you know, you're risking all of that right now.
Yeah.
You know, so he believed more in this safe, cautious approach. I don't know. That's such a tough thing because you don't know what would have happened if Luke Skywalker stays on Dagobah, goes through all of this training. Does he even redeem Anakin at that point? Then I think it's really just a training to get him to the point where he can actually just defeat Vader and the Emperor.
Yeah.
And that's really what Yoda, I think, had intended.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think they intended for him to turn Anakin.
No.
Right? And so that's the Force. You know, that's where it kind of shines through, and it has a will of its own, and it has its own, you know, way here. But anyways, back to, you know,
well, when he was talking about this book, what immediately popped into my mind was Anakin sitting down with Yoda.
Yes.
In the prequels and going over the visions he's having, and Yoda tells him to be cautious of them. I mean, to steer clear of these things, that it's only going to lead you to I don't know, just the dark side. Like you're gonna remember, you're gonna see the ones you love in distress, and you're gonna want to go help them, and it's just gonna lead you down that path. And that's the same story with Luke, but he really, I don't know, I feel like he minds it a little more there with Anakin, and that he's telling him he needs to be cautious.
Well, yeah, exactly. And here's the other thing too. If you want to talk about, let's talk about meditation, even in the Star Wars universe, galaxy there, without the Force. Let's say you're a non-Force sensitive, person, and you just meditate.
Yeah.
So there's still that just that meditation that's not influenced by the Force that can still happen and take place there. Just like maybe we would here, although we believe the Force is real. And
Amen.
it does surround us.
That's right.
Even here, folks. So
it's penetrating us. It's binding us right now.
So I don't know what you guys are. We don't want to,
Yep.
But I don't know. I thought that was kind of a neat thing to think about, because we often think of like those things being very mixed.
Yeah.
When we talk about the Jedi and just how, like the Force can augment your meditation, maybe, So yeah, it's neat to kind of think about just the meditation piece by itself, and reflecting on your own thoughts, and your own, way of thinking and stuff. So,
but here's the thing, though, like, I feel like the meditation parts of Star Wars, and then like the visions that Luke and Anakin tended to have, those really weren't during moments of meditation, were they? I mean, Anakin had them when he was sleeping a lot. Luke had them just, like he just had them. He wasn't in a state of meditation, really, right? Well, no, he was when he was lifting rocks and things like that.
Yeah,
that was a state of meditation.
Type of calming himself. In tune to the Force. But you're right, though, in that like sometimes, even in some of the Legends books, things could happen to them. Like they could get. So look at like Rey's is different. Rey's vision. Is a little different.
That's true. I mean, was that the object, speaking to her, or was it just the Force?
Yeah, and
through the crystal.
So you talk about two things. The idea of meditating, and then through that connecting with the Force. That seems to be something that Maz kind of talks when you're calm and and even
Close
Luke when he is when he's trying to guide her to what is in between all of that life and death. It's this balance. It's this Force. Which is a cool moment to kind of really hear them articulate that on film. And talk about what it is.
Well, and then you also have to question like Anakin having those visions. Was that the Force? Was it Palpatine? There's so many.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Kind of unanswered questions.
Well, I mean, that gets into even look at what Snoke does with the Force connection.
Yeah,
so they're different things, totally different things. But at the same time, there's those who can, the dark side seems to be a way in which you can like manipulate the Force to either cause a vision in somebody. And that's what we had talked about before. It's been almost over a year, but talking about how either Snoke and Palpatine could influence their apprentices, or others by giving them, visions and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think that's something to think about. So, okay.
That's such a deep conversation.
Dude, I wasn't prepared.
I'm not prepared for that. And I wish I knew more about... I mean, obviously wish we had read this book, and maybe we can pick it up or kind of skim through some of it and kind of see what Charlie's referring to in some of this. But it's I don't know. I'd love to tap into the mind of George Lucas a little more and see, and maybe there's something out there that speaks to it a little more. But to me, it's kind of open ended. Yeah,
I want to send folks somewhere, just something kind of fun that you can go check out here. It's a friend of mine. He emailed Mike and I. Gosh, I want to say over a year ago, and we were switching the account from like Let's Look It Up, over to like Rebel Watch, and so we kind of missed this. But I reconnected with him later, Calais, and he runs a site called the Nordic Jedi. Yeah, so it's NordicJedi.com, and it's a lot about meditation, and it's exploring. Right here it says, "Join me in exploring worlds beyond space, time, and the final frontier. May you be one with the Force and live long and prosper." So he's kind of like he's kind of blending that whole just sci-fi genres there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's still It's a blog, and he's got a couple of different. He's got some posts up here. He's got some music. So it's called NordicJedi.com, and it's a blog. And he's someone who I would like to in the future talk with just about, because he's a big believer in meditation and spiritual health and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
Might be something that we need to tap into.
We actually probably need to start doing it before the episodes.
Get back to our Zen state so we can podcast.
Oh my gosh,
I like that. That. Next voicemail.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Charlie, and leave us another one. I think we got you cut off a little bit there.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Apologize.
Real
3
quick,
minutes.
Before you play that, I just wanted to another plug here, and I'll plug it at the end. The number to call is 614-547-2570. Again, that's 614-547-2570. Max of 3 minutes. If you would like to send your own audio clip, if you need like 4 to 5 minutes,
send an email.
Yeah, just record an audio clip and send it to email or Dropbox or whatever you want to do.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Now I don't have a name on this next one, as we got another rogue.
Hey, I like that.
I do
secrecy.
too. I do
some
too.
Fulcrum stuff.
The transcription just says, "What's up? It's Rubber." So I don't think that's this individual's name, but we'll go ahead and see if it is.
Okay.
What's up, Rebel Watch? It's Wes from Orange County. Just want to get you guys' thoughts on the casting confirmations and rumors. Haven't heard you guys talk a lot about that. I know Kerry Russell was confirmed for a, quote, action-heavy role, and you guys talked about it a little bit. Who is she? What is she to the main core? Who is she to Luke? Who is she to Rey or Poe or whoever? Maybe she's Poe's mom. But what about also the rumor that Nina Gold and JJ are looking for a 40 to 50-year-old white woman to play the role of Mara? I want to get your guys' thoughts on that, because if that's true, Rey is a Skywalker.
Amen.
Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say on the podcast. Keep up the good work. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
I like
Wes.
it to the point, Wes. I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that. Appreciate that. Okay, cast of episode 9, man.
Yeah. We briefly talked about Kerry Russell because
Briefly.
remember we talked about my whole Felicity crush back in the day.
Yeah,
Let's
we
keep that on
did.
the DL. But yeah, when I was a kid, me and my mom used to watch Felicity together, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Great show though. But yeah, Kerry Russell. We immediately hoped that she could be a Mara Jade, but the age just doesn't add up. If she actually is with Luke Skywalker, she's a bit young for Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
But I also could be thinking back to circa 2002 watching Felicity. So who knows? Who knows?
Let's see. So she's 42 right now.
That's a little.
Yeah, she's 42, and Mark Hamill is 67. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, could it happen? Yes.
Yeah, it could. They can make it happen.
But
if they
will
need
it?
to.
Probably not. They're probably going to try to go for something.
Unless they're going.
Come on.
They're doing a flashback.
Okay.
Of a Mara Jade. Because we're
sure.
assuming that she's now present here in episode 9. What if they're going to flashback and it's her leaving Rey on Jakku?
Jakku, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, that would be cool.
That could be awesome.
Yeah. That would be cool. We don't really know.
No, we don't. We
Let
don't.
me see here, actually. Was there any more on her, just any news, let's see, as to what role she was applying for?
Nah.
Or what she was...
Nah, man,
Let's
it's tight. It's tight, but it did say action heavy though. I recall that. So could that be her fleeing Luke's temple? Like maybe there's a fight sequence and she's getting out of there in a flashback, or who knows, man.
Wow.
But
yeah,
we're putting so many constraints on it, and here's the other thing too, though, bro. Laura Dern, I thought was going to be a huge character in The Last Jedi too.
Yeah.
And I mean, while Admiral Holdo had a pretty significant part, I wouldn't call that a huge role. Laura Dern is an amazing actress, and I do not feel like she was utilized quite enough in that movie. So Kerry Russell could also have a very minimal role. But I want her to be Mara Jade.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Another
Come
thing, I was just doing some research here, okay?
Come on.
Just real quick. So one of those things like, okay, so you had Mara Jade, right?
Yeah.
And before Mara Jade, there was this individual named Callista, which is this...
Come on.
Which is this, like, you know, Luke kind of falls in love with this Jedi spirit that is trapped in a computer, okay?
That's hot.
Which is hot, right?
There's something about that.
There's something about that. So she ends up kind of coming back, and so anyways, he kind of falls in love with her, and there's this whole bit. So if someone was, say, trapped in like, some ship console, some spirit was trapped away that he fell in love with back in the day, okay, cool. Then there's a super sweaty connection to Legends.
But how could that be an action heavy role?
That's what I'm saying. She would have
Some
to
serious
actually
technical action.
Well, maybe, yeah. She'd have to take physical form, and she'd have to.
She'd have to take physical form.
Right. So that's just what. But maybe she was someone who, her age was. It doesn't really matter because she actually changes bodies, and so she kind of inherits a new body. So there's that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a weird little thing. I think it was like Children of the Jedi or something like that.
Yeah.
It was that series, so kind of a different series.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I only read the first book, and I've not read anything since. There's actually Darksabers, either the second or third book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just saw it because I found this list of people who they said who Carrie Russell will not be in episode 9. First thing they list off here is Rey's mom. Sorry guys.
Come on.
And then,
but why though? That's what I don't understand though. Even if she's not Mara Jade and she's not with Luke Skywalker, like why couldn't she just be the flashback leaving her on Jakku?
Yeah.
Like why couldn't she be? Like it seems like they're automatically tying her as being a Skywalker. She's not a Skywalker. It doesn't mean Carrie Russell's character couldn't leave her on Jakku. Or like show her smuggling her out of someplace important to leave her on Jakku.
Well, and the other thing you got to remember is you could make her look a little bit older.
Oh yeah,
that's
easy.
That's sort of it's harder to go the opposite direction. I mean, look at Emperor Palpatine at 6.
Well, look at the Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Okay,
They did a great job on that one. But you know what? Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. So, anyways, this person's this is actually /film.com. So I just pulled up a random article.
Yeah, let's go.
And their defense for that statement that it's not going to be Rey's mom is simply that, well, because Ryan told us so. Ryan said that she is no one. And if that's the case, and if according to Kylo Ren, her parents are dead in a pauper's grave.
But just because he said she's a no one doesn't mean that
I know.
She couldn't be her mother.
This is just somebody who's like totally saying 100% I believe that, and there's no way that it's...
I don't buy it. It's bantha fodder.
Yeah,
I don't buy it.
It is bantha fodder. So anyways, I think that's kind of neat. Now, other cast members, I don't really know a lot. This is something... I guess the reason we haven't talked a lot about it is because I'm not real up on other cast members. Let me see. You've got the typical, Dom. I always forget. Lane's going to kill me. Dom Monahan? Is that his name?
Oh, you mean the guy from Lost, the guy from The Lord of the Rings? You know what, folks? Here's the thing. I don't believe Ezra really likes Lord of the Rings. Though he runs a Lord of the Rings podcast. His heart is in a galaxy far, far away. And I'll say it till the day I die.
Oh, my God.
Who is it again as? Dominic who?
Dominic Monaghan.
Okay. And I even know that he's a freaking hobbit.
Okay.
He's going to Hogwarts.
Lane's going to kill me.
For his senior year of school, right?
Lane, bro, I'm sorry, man. I can't ever pronounce this guy's name.
That's cool.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to take this clip and he's going to play it on...
He should.
And he's going to say, guys, Ez really doesn't know the characters.
Mike knows more. And you didn't even catch that I made that he was going to Hogwarts.
Well, no, I mean, Mike always says that it's not Gandalf, it's Dumbledore.
Where's Dumbledore?
Oh gosh,
goodness.
Mike loves to just.
I do.
I thought we could go 1 or 2 episodes in a row.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I only joke about that if I love you, and I love you, and I love talking Tolkien, and I love Lane, and that's the only reason I give it crap.
I know, bro.
Because it's successful, and I love it.
Dude, and here's the thing. He actually...
You don't hear me joking about Swish and Flick anymore, do you?
No.
Slam
on them. Big
Slam
time.
on them.
Oh, my God, dude. That's going on.
The psychopathy is flowing.
But this, Dom, here's the thing with him. Lane has some really good thoughts on him. He actually, when you pull him up, if you pull up a picture of him, he's just he played Merry in Lord of the Rings.
I know exactly who he is.
Okay, cool. Yep. He looks kind of like a dark side guy. He has that face that looks like he could play kind of a villain. Mm-hmm. That's kind of crazy because he played this wonderful, beautiful hobbit, but, he looks kind of sinister. Another person who could go either way, actually. So Dom, to me, is a bad guy. I think he's playing some type of bad guy. Mm-hmm. Matt Smith, who was the other Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. Remember Matt Smith? So if you type in Matt Smith, you'll see his face. He's got this nice chiseled face.
Yeah. He could go either way.
Yeah. And that's where So I don't know. I'm hoping these guys are Force sensitives.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I thought that Dom might end up being kind of Kylo's one of his Knights of Ren
Right-hand
or
guy. One of his guys.
right hand
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Somebody else who steps up there in that regard. And I'm hoping that Matt Smith is like this. I don't know. I keep saying either one of the Jedi. Because here's the thing. What did Luke say? That when Ben destroyed his temple, he had a dozen students.
Took a dozen students.
Wait, he killed. He took a handful of them.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
killed the rest.
Yeah.
But he only had about a dozen. So he took like what 6 or however many. So what my question is that like, did he really kill all those other 6? You know, and were there any other masters there?
But that's
Is that just the students, or was Luke the only master there?
But that's the thing. I think Luke was saying that he took a dozen of his students and created a temple.
Yeah, he did.
That doesn't mean that years had passed and they don't have hundreds of people in this temple now.
Yeah.
Because you look at the scenes of them showing the temple and the sleeping quarters, it's a big place. There's not 12 people just hanging out there. It's a bigger establishment. So I think he's saying they started with that, but Kylo took a few of his students and destroyed it all.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'd always I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, what are the numbers here? Because 30 years later, you're like, Luke, that's all Luke's done, with just a handful of kids.
That's crazy.
It seems like it would be more than that, and it seems like there'd be layers. And if you look at Legends, before he really did start, he started to train some adult figures. Corran Horn, Kyle, Kip Duran, some of these other guys were guys that were, big players during the Galactic Civil War, and
the using them.
And exactly, and then they end up being like big players in all of that. Whereas you had this Young Jedi Knight series, right, which was all of the Darth Vader's grandchildren kind of growing up together. So I'm hoping that Matt Smith could play someone like that.
Well, maybe he's out. Someone it would seem like if there were the Knights of Ren and they were out there while Kylo's kind of doing his thing, finding Luke, someone would be kind of leading them. Maybe he's like his second in command. He's out there. Wouldn't that be cool? He just comes all just, worn down and he's got this sick blade or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just, that would be cool.
Absolutely. It would
be cool.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Dom is probably playing, that darker side guy. I'm hoping Matt Smith is some type of Jedi figure we can look to.
But you know what though? You're right about the look about Dom, but
you don't think so? You think he's?
I kind of like. I feel like what was his name?
Matt Smith?
Pippin.
Oh, Mary. Yeah, you're right. He was a playful.
I kind of think that could fit into the Star Wars.
Yeah.
He could be a good character.
Yeah.
Kind of bumbling around like that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a comic side. He's got a comedic side.
Almost like I just kind of see him as like a 3PO kind of human form. Kind of that kind of comedy a little bit. I don't know, just kind of stumbling around a little bit. Like, these are our best fighters in the Resistance.
Yeah. He could also play that whole, how Yoda was very, when we first meet him, he's a little kooked.
But he's wise.
He's wise. Couldn't that be cool?
That would be sick.
To see sort of like, to see Dom play someone who is a little bit kind of spacey. He's lost it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yet, really, when a serious moment hits, like all of a sudden you see a switch in his demeanor. Yeah. Dude, I'm so hopeful.
That would be sick.
We need moments like that. We definitely
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah. He's got to be good. Let's put Matt Smith bad. I like it.
Okay.
Have him walking in just all worn out. He's been slaughtering Jedi.
There is another guy. His name, it looks like he's confirmed here, which is Richard E. Grant. Mike, if you want to look him.
Oh, he's dark side for sure. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's he's an English actor.
Yep, he's well established.
Been in a lot of different things. Yeah, he definitely looks like he could play like a general. I don't know,
like a Tarkin-esque, I kind of think.
And is he new? I mean, if this is not someone who I've seen in
no, I think he's a well established
in the First Order.
Oh, in the First Order. I mean, like actor wise, he's a well established actor. But I think because here's the thing, man, with Hux, give me a Tarkin-esque person.
I'm out on Hux.
I am too, man.
I'm sorry. They're going to do something pretty epic for me to.
I liked his character in The Force Awakens, but those first few minutes of Last Jedi just ruined him for me, man. And even at the end, where it's cool he got thrown around, but just like, I don't know, man, some of the jokes just kind of ruined it for me. So if you come in and you got this seasoned guy who's been, I don't know, out just you know, because the First Order is kind of everywhere. So maybe they bring him in. They're like, you know what? We're in our most desperate hour. Like, we need you to come in and right the ship. And he's like, I got this. Or he's a former Imperial, like, officer that survived the destruction of the Empire.
Yeah,
That would be
absolutely,
cool.
absolutely. Here's cool. So we've got a couple folks here in the Discord chat that are live with us right now. Hawk is in here, kind of just talking about the idea that he wants to see Force sensitives.
Yeah.
you know, which I think that's pretty cool. And he says, "Give us that temple scene," which
Yes.
you know what I'm saying.
How sick would that be, man?
Dude, that would be pretty
Because
sick.
we only saw younglings being slaughtered for a very short time in episode 3. So yeah, let's see that go down. Oh, he's wanting it to be like that cinematic cut from the Old Republic. That's what he's wanting.
Oh man,
like
that would be
That'd be
nuts.
sick.
That would be nuts. So we also have the idea. Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher this name, but I think it's Young Angmus.
That works.
Probably butchered it.
You nailed it.
Anyways, but he talked about Grant being this Adam. Okay, is this idea that Grant could be a senior member of the Order X Empire, perhaps? Well, because he is.
Yeah.
He is older.
He's older.
Yeah, so he has.
But he
that,
could have been a younger, you know, hungry. Because I think of him as like a oh goodness, from Empire's End.
Oh yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Gallius Rex.
No.
Wait.
That she survives.
Sloane.
Sloane.
Yeah.
I think of someone younger,
Sloane,
like
yeah.
that, who was at the end of the Empire but
I
was
see.
hungry for power.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then you bring him in, and he's
Gotcha.
just like, I got this.
Yeah, part of what would have been like the Imperial Remnant, but you know,
Exactly.
turns into like a First Order
Yep.
type of thing.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that. That would be cool.
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
you know, Adam's saying, you know, young, ambitious, Imperial Lieutenant, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's go.
who kind of rises and yeah.
Still got his old
Well,
uniform.
And that makes a lot of sense because you know, you remember during the Thrawn trilogy, it's sort of like there was this the Empire at the end there, man. There was all this different people vying for positions of power.
Yeah.
You know, the Moffs were always in, you know, seeking
Always.
control and stuff and trying to put somebody that served their own interest at the top of the Empire.
We read that in Thrawn.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, manipulating each other, poisoning each
Yeah,
other,
the-
just doing stuff.
The
man.
governors and the Moffs
Yeah.
were all in cahoots.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's cool. I like it.
That was good. That was good.
All right, man. This has been whew.
Next one, man. We got Jeremy calling from Chicago. Jeremy, hey, you're
Holy
lucky we
smokes.
didn't hear this voicemail sooner, you know, because we now have a place to stay in Chicago for celebration. But son, we
Are
might
you
have been
kidding?
hitting you
Are
up.
you kidding me?
Oh, he's in Chicago.
Dude, we could have for free.
Well, he can come hang out with us.
Yeah, you can come in. We'll give you
He might need to come pick us up at some point.
Yeah, we might need a ride to the convention center.
Because we've been to Chicago, but we've gotten lost in Chicago. So, yeah, Jeremy, we'll come find you. But let's hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Hey there, Rebel Watch. It's Jeremy calling from Chicago. Just saying, calling to say you guys do a great job. Great show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I even listen to Ez on Bend the Knee, another great podcast.
Oh, wow.
But
There's another plug.
I'm going to my first celebration, the one here in Chicago by me. Never been to a
Let's go.
Comic-Con, never been to a convention before.
Let's go.
I was, I guess my question is, if you guys got any, anything I need to know, any useful hints or
Oh, Jeremy.
advice going to my first one?
Oh, Jeremy.
And also, I want to ask what you guys think. I was watching New Hope the other day. I don't know if it occurred to me after all this time. I don't know if racist is the right word, but maybe prejudice. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi insists on calling the Tusken Raiders Sand People
He did.
when the proper name is Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does it more than once.
He
And I was
does.
curious as to what your guys' thoughts are about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great job. Keep up the good work, guys. May the Force be with you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey, guys, I cannot tell you how cool the voicemails are. We are
Yes.
dedicated to playing them, so you guys better
Absolutely.
keep sending them, man.
Keep
Jeremy,
sending
that is so epic, man. I love hearing from you. And, this is epic, dude. So here's the thing. So first of all, let's
on.
go with advice, and let's think about that.
Oh, we want to
Tusken-
do that first?
Well, do you have thoughts on Tusken Raider?
I was just going to mention that.
Obviously, he's prejudiced.
That's the dark side of Star Wars.
Yeah, dude.
I
the
mean, he
dark
even
days.
says it was the dark times. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
know.
Obi-Wan grew up in a dark time, you know.
He's got a little prejudice.
He's got a little prejudice in him, and I think, you know, he maybe has learned from the errors of his ways. But
dude, for the longest time, that didn't even occur to me as a thing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting though.
It is.
Isn't it?
You don't see that name anywhere, and
No.
you don't see it in any merchandising. Nothing mentions it anymore.
Right. And I think he's right. It is. Well, let's see. He does mention it in Revenge of the Sith, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's. So it happens in 4, and then all these years later, it's still used. I wonder if they did it because Obi-Wan uses it in 4. Were they conscious? Were they conscious of the issue, and then they decided, you know what, this is what he said, you know, back in 77. So we're going to keep the same lingo because it's Obi-Wan, and it's the continuity thing.
It's hard. Yeah,
I wonder if they had that discussion though. You know,
it would be hard to say that they didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it.
Yeah.
I would hate to just chalk it up to ignorance, and they just had no idea because the world was a big place and.
People
in the
had
80s
had brought that up.
Yeah,
you know,
we'd
and
had
said,
issues. You know, like it had to have been obvious to them. So I don't know how that wouldn't have been something they discussed. So maybe just for the sake of continuity and tying it in, it could have been. But but that's what is that? A 6-year difference?
Yeah.
Or it was
no. You mean between
83 and 77?
77 and what year was?
Because we go 77, 80, 83, right? Am I messed up? I'm pretty sure that's right.
What are you saying over there?
No, that's when the original trilogies came out, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But it's only a 6-year gap. It's not like in 6 years people just realized that we say a lot of very racist things, and like there's no way.
What I'm talking about though is to go from 77 to back to episode 3. You know, does Obi-Wan ever say it? Does he ever talk about sand people?
Oh, in the prequels?
Yeah, are you sure?
They don't.
Are you sure?
No,
I think
because when the only time you see them in episode 1 is when they're pod racing, and there's like some Tusken Raiders up in the
kills them all. Remember, he kills them all,
but they don't mention what they are.
They don't mention them.
He doesn't say I killed sand people.
Palpatine does. Palpatine says, like you told me with the
sand people.
Yeah, remember he's talking, because I was trying to remember where is that said?
Oh yeah,
I think Palpatine says, "Remember what you told me about the." Doesn't he say that? Sorry guys, we're totally. Normally, I'm pretty good with the quotes.
Remember you told me about your mother and the sand people?
Yeah,
I think that's what he says. Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
That's Palpatine though. That's not even Obi-Wan for continuity. So
I don't know, man. I mean. We came from a very small town, and I think we just, we're exposed to these things as we grew up. But I don't know how they wouldn't have been aware of this, and how.
I understand what you. Yeah, I understand what you were saying, which was just from episode 4 to 6. Was there any type of awareness then?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like prequels. Like you got to know there's something. Yeah. Why would you continue to use it then? So I don't know. That's a great question.
So that was.
There's probably information out there though.
He says that in episode 3.
That's what I'm saying.
That's 2005.
Yeah, I know.
That's a great question. We'll have to see if there's any discussions out there about that, because I'm not aware of any. I mean, I know they went from a change and none of their merchandising did it after a while, but 2005, really? Come on, that's crazy.
I know that's been a thing though. That's one of those things I
guess
see.
I never really thought about it.
I see it from time to time on my feed, or I see it as a joke, and I'm always just like, all right. And I don't ever really give it a lot of thought, but hey, we've been asked the question here, on the podcast, so it's time for me to go look it up and really see if there were conversations.
But you know what's crazy? As aware as we are about that topic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't even think about it being in episode 3. Like, that's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
It's because I know, not the best, name.
Right.
And they changed it, and I know they did, and I'm like, that's for the better. But I didn't even think as of how many years ago? 14 years ago, they were saying it still.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know, man. That's crazy, especially because our country. I mean. Our country has had, conflict with Middle East, and there's been a lot of prejudice over the years. But I mean, especially after 9/11, people were very aware of that prejudice. So I don't know how. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So good question. I'm glad.
Very good question. That's something we'll have to talk about.
Yeah, Mike will be looking that up.
Yeah,
later.
that's
for sure.
Very interesting. But another big question.
The best part of this this voicemail.
I mean, Jeremy, I wish I wish I could write you out, a training manual on how to get prepared. I wish we would have, asked some more questions too, but I don't know if anything can prepare you.
Dude, it is just, first of all, here's one thing. Once you get there, we are encouraging people we're going to be texting people, getting on the Facebook group. We want to find people. So
yes,
there's something called Flying Solo. It's like a group where you can go in there and sign up, and you can actually experience celebration. If you just come by yourself, let's say nobody in your friend group or your family is interested in this type of stuff, and you just want to come and hang out, you can get buddied up with people from around the world, around the country, and you can experience it together. You can say, hey, let's just go to a couple panels together, talk, and then you can split up, or you can meet. It's really kind of a neat thing that these guys set up there. And I wanted to. We actually talked after, maybe not this one, but after.
Oh, you don't want to go with me anymore?
No, what I was saying is that
cool.
we thought about taking one day though and partnering up with somebody who we have no idea. Us splitting up.
Bonkers.
I love it. It's a 5-day thing. So Mike and I are thinking about going in there and signing up and finding somebody who like, hey man, we know you don't have a group. We have like 3 to 4 people. Yeah. Come with us.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you can check out, and you can definitely do that with us. Another thing that was tough was the queuing system.
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's the company running the event, but ReedPop, or if it was the convention center itself, but the queues were just, there were so I don't know if they'd ever expected it to be this big.
Well, it blew it like the 40th was nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was huge. I mean, this year actually even bigger, and I think it's because of episode 9.
Yeah.
It's
going to be 5 days. Now it's only every 2 years. So many people are going to be here. I mean, we couldn't get a place.
The vendors are going to be there. It's packed. Every application process is just full.
And maybe the good thing for Jeremy is that he doesn't need lodging. If he lives close by, or he can take the train in or something to the convention center, that's a huge plus for you.
Well, here's the thing. I would still, though, if you want to do the episode 9 panel, we're going to be staying overnight for that.
Well, as maybe 2 nights before. Yeah, dude. Like I told you, I'll be the guy standing at the entrance, and 2 days, before the episode 9 panel, and people are like, "Is that guy okay?"
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, guys, the line for the 9 panel starts here, so get in line.
It's like day 1, right? Mike's in line, and he's just like, and they're letting everybody in for the first panel on Thursday or Wednesday, and Mike's like, come on, move around.
Go ahead, go on.
Well, hey,
go ahead and pass
you aren't
me.
going in? Nah, this is the line for 9.
Nah. You know what? I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
The line for 9
says the line for 9, and it's just gonna have a line.
Oh,
if anyone takes this idea,
if Steele Saunders takes this, then I am done.
Oh, I know he's listening.
I know he is.
So, and have us on the show, Steele. We'll give you a free T-shirt.
Seriously, Steele.
That's a great idea, right?
Yeah, we should make those shirts.
Line for 9.
Yeah, the line for 9.
And it's just some guy standing in a queue. Just like
straight up. I'll get a picture of you standing at the thing, and I'm going to leave you there and expect you to be there when I get back. I'll bring you food and water.
That'd actually be a really good Instagram post.
Oh, dude. It'd also be the most epic line hold thing. Mike misses 2 days worth of the convention just to be the first person in line.
But in all joking aside, it may come to that, because when the episode 8 panel was when we found out when it was going to be, the day before, what did you and I went back to the hotel. We got cleaned up. At 5 o'clock, walked back to the convention center thinking we would be the night before.
The night before.
The night before.
We wrapped up our convention experience a couple hours early, because it runs till 7 o'clock or something, 6 or 7.
Yeah, but I don't think the panel started until after 11. It might have been 2 o'clock.
Oh, no. Yeah, I just meant that day. When we left,
yeah.
We actually left 2 hours early to go get a shower, get our stuff, and then get back in line. We're like, we'll be there. We'll be in line by 5 o'clock.
We'll be the first ones there.
Dude, we got in line. I mean,
it's daylight out still.
Dude, you tell the story. I'll never forget Andrew.
I'll never forget. So the convention center was huge. We're talking miles around this building.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Ez and I, when we're like, oh, well, there's already a line started. It's not going to be that bad. So we go around one side of the building, and the line continues on that entire mile-long stretch of the building. We're
it's hard to see, though, right? Because it juts in,
kind of juts in and out. We're like, oh, well. So every turn, the line just kept going, and it wrapped around the whole damn building.
The whole building.
And we were in that line for several hours.
Yes.
just to get in through security, just to get in the queue for the 9 panel or the 8 panel, and then in which we had to stay the night in the convention center in the queue line.
Yep.
And you can't bring in a mattress with you. I mean,
No.
you can roll one up and throw it in your bag, but
We had a blanket.
We had a blanket.
Yep.
Luckily, Andrew had a sleeping
Bag.
bag on it.
Thank
and we
God.
opened it up. That saved us.
It did save us.
But it also was one of the most rewarding nights of the entire trip.
Yeah.
I mean, we slept there all night.
Yeah.
But you also don't sleep much because you're in a queue, and so everyone just plops down and camps there.
Yeah, you're literally just like, we were next to like 5 to 6 nerdy guys.
Yeah.
Andrew was playing some
Playing
game
cards and
with,
stuff.
with these younger group mix of
Yeah.
girls and guys, and
Yeah.
then out of nowhere, Ryan Johnson
shows
up.
He, as you remember, because I was trying to get some sleep. It was like 2, 3 in the morning.
Absolutely, dude.
All of a sudden, this crowd of people just forms right beside us.
I saw the door open.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, somebody's coming in. That's weird. No one's coming
Yeah.
through those doors. We weren't
No.
like allowed to, you know.
No.
And
He's all dressed up. He has a suit jacket on and everything. It's like he'd been up all night, and he was so pumped to just come out and
he was like
thank
the first or
everyone.
second person through the door, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's Ryan Johnson.
That's crazy.
I literally set up, and Andrew was like, all because you were asleep. I was like,
out.
I was recording some Instagram videos of you just like passed out, and here he came. And he came actually. Unfortunately, this is going to not make sense, but like he came right down next to us.
Yeah, right by my head.
And we had to protect all of our stuff.
Yep.
So we couldn't go, like, people were flooding him from across all
Yeah.
the different queues, and
That's
they just
crazy.
left their stuff there. I got out of line, went to go see him, and trampled all over
Yeah.
everybody's stuff. But
Yeah.
whatever. So we were there, and we had to kind of protect, because the mosh pit was moving over top of our
Yeah.
stuff, and we,
Yeah.
you know. But Andrew got a picture with him, you know.
was cool.
We got to touch him as he went by, which was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
He was real chill.
It's just like the Messiah. Just everyone was just wanting
Yeah.
to put a hand on
I mean,
him. It
people
was-
were really like, oh.
Yeah. It was crazy. Little did they know it would divide the fandom.
Yeah.
But no, it was the best night of the whole thing. And
Yeah.
I was trying to get a little sleep. I think I got like an hour or something. But like at 3 in the morning,
I know.
there's just people dueling lightsabers and a crowd of 100 people around them just cheering them on. I'm
And I
like,
couldn't take my eyes off of him.
I know. It was just, I was like, well, I guess we're up all night. Like,
Yeah,
it's
we're up
just-
all night. Well, because like after Ryan, you know, it would have been one thing if Ryan hadn't came through, but that excitement I think fueled those guys to where they're like,
Absolutely.
And he came over and watched them duel a little bit,
Yeah.
and it was
That
pretty
was so cool.
It
So
was
that
pretty cool.
So that's the gist of the lines. Like it's crazy because you have to get they only give so many tickets for the panels, and you have to go through security in order to just go get a ticket and hope that they still have them and
Right.
then get in line for it. So it's a big process, and so if you're wanting to go deep into panels, you have to divide either
Well, you only get to pick the 2 big ones,
the only
right?
2 big ones, and then they have a bunch of smaller ones that
Yeah.
were like the Rebels convention, and they had like
Yeah.
Ian McDermott, but the big ones was like the 40th, the
Yeah.
episode 8.
Yeah.
So those are the ones you only get two
Well,
big ones.
even some days when, let's say you're showing up and they've got, let's say Billy D is having his own panel, Mark Hamill has his own panel.
Yeah.
Those are ones you actually have to get wristbands for.
Exactly.
The smaller ones were like, let's say Dave Filoni, or let's say you had the, oh gosh, I forget what it was called. All of the women of Star Wars.
Yeah.
They all kind of had their panel. That wasn't one that I remembered that you had to get like a wristband for.
Yeah.
But you kind of had to pick. If there were 5 to 6 panels, big
Yeah.
ones, you had to pick wisely and pick the ones that you were interested in. And they do that so that way, you know, it's like, all right, look, if they're not giving wristbands anymore for episode 9, well, there's another one. You need to go hit this one up too and grab a wrist. That way everybody
Yeah.
kind of gets a chance to go see something,
Yeah.
you know, monumental.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And it worked out well. I mean, we got to see Mark Hamill. We saw Hamill himself. We
Yeah.
saw the episode 8 one was a must.
that was a must. Yep.
So get there early. And you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to have an idea what you want to see beforehand and try to plan it.
One thing we didn't do last year or 2 years ago that we would like to do this time is like I would like to do anyways is the autograph
That'd be cool.
stuff to go in there and
Get a
actually
pick, too.
because here's the thing, I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance. I almost did it when we were there, but when am I going to get a chance to shake hands with Mark Hamill?
You're not. That's it.
I mean, he does call me every other week, but like
Well, yeah, but in person doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
Maybe once a year.
we have more of a virtual friendship.
That's
You know, he retweets me and what have you.
Yeah.
So there's
Sounds
that.
a little stalkerish, but
Yeah, he's stalking my Twitter account. I know. I don't get it.
if
Man.
I get a restraining
I
order
must
on
have
that
some
guy.
pretty good tweets going on there. He's just like, wow, when's that Womprat _2M gonna tweet at Mark Hamill again.
That's
so,
right.
By the way, do you know what's
Yeah.
funny is I tweeted about his kids. I said, "Are they?" It was like before The Last Jedi came out. I tweeted, is Chelsea Hamill?
Oh, he liked it.
Nathan, yeah, he liked it, and he
Yeah.
I think he retweeted,
Retweeted it, yeah.
because it ended up. I said, "Are they ready to step into the Skywalker saga and take on the Skywalker name?" And he retweeted it and liked it, and the reason being they're in
Let's go.
episode 8. There's
Yeah.
actually a big cameo with the
Yeah.
Hamill kids.
Yep.
There on Crate. So
Absolutely.
which was so cool. So cool.
And the other thing is, too, I want to mention, like, you and I's experience is going to be different from others because,
Yeah.
I mean, just naturally, but like, we also are going and we're producing content. So some of
That's
our
true.
time is spent podcasting and getting footage and interviews and things like that. So if you're just going to enjoy it, and you and I take at least a couple of days and we just walk the convention floor. You and I divided up the convention floor with all the exhibits
Oh my
into
God.
days. We only did like 2 aisles.
I know.
And one day we're like, the next 2 aisles we're doing tomorrow because there was so much. And if
Right.
like, so you just have to take time just for the convention floor to go see the exhibits, to see the merch, to see all the Mandalorians. I mean, there's going to be a lot of them, especially now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be.
So,
dude, yeah. They had the
it's-
whole Mando Mercs.
Absolutely.
Set up there. We're excited because we know some of the members of the Ohio Garrison,
Yes.
the 501st.
Yeah.
And they're going to be represented really strongly there. So we're hoping to run into some of them. Brian, Jamie. God, Brian just kills me, man. Hopefully
Yeah.
he's wearing that. He's got a couple X-Wing pilot costumes that are just sick.
Yeah.
Jamie is Ohio Chewie. She's just fantastic. So hoping to kind of run into her and get to go support those guys at their table.
Yep.
I unfortunately have not got my Snowy together in time. It's going to have to.
It's a recession, as
It is a recession, actually. I had a little situation with the old bank account, so I had to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not very handy, and I decided just to order myself a Snowy costume.
That's
So,
okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna get it done. But anyways, yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool. One thing that's interesting. Here's an example. The guys up at Rebel Toys that we know. I think it's Eric Baker up there, and I'm blanking on it. Is it Doug? I can't remember. Basically, they go there for the toys.
Yep.
They're legitimately there just for Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
For the new exclusives that are coming out.
Yep.
Selling, trading, some of the vintage toys, and that's some people's whole shindig.
Yeah.
That's what they love about it,
And that's going to be a lot of us. We've started our
Oh.
own collections now.
Mike
so
has
it's gonna
started down
be-
he started down a dark path.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's
So-
bad. But yeah, it's. I don't know, man. I don't know if anything could have expected or like got us ready for that experience. I don't think anything could have prepared me for it. Like you have to get there early if you want to go to panels. That's the biggest thing. You can go every day and just hang out at the exhibits and you're gonna have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
And there's smaller ones too. There's the podcasting stage. There's Collider always has a thing going on. Like they
Sure.
did their Schmodown last year. Like there's other things you can do and just honestly people watching was one of the best things. And
how
we,
many-
we were vlogging the
How
whole
many
time.
cosplayers did I go up and get a selfie with just
Yeah.
because?
Yeah.
And it was people who weren't even a part of the Rebel Legion 501st. They were
Yeah.
just going in, dressing
Yep.
up, and it was fantastic. One thing we want to do that other podcasts kind of do. We thought about doing this, but we weren't really ready for it last celebration. Is to have sort of a meetup. After.
Yes.
Yeah, like on one of those nights where we're not spending a night in the convention center, we're gonna have like a meetup at a bar or something. We'd
Yeah.
also like to attend a couple meetups.
Yeah.
From some other podcasting buddies that we know who will be holding those meet and greets. And so,
right.
yeah, even if you're not coming to ours and you want to go to theirs with us, that'd be fantastic. So we'll keep
Yeah.
you guys. Mike's really
Yeah.
keeping us up to date on. We're gonna have a nice itinerary.
It's gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good. And Jeremy, download the Star Wars Celebration app when they release it for this year, because that was a really handy guide. You can create your own schedule on there. It'll have all the events, and you can flag the ones you want to see, and they actually have reminders you can set up that'll give you a heads up when things are upcoming. It'll have a map of the convention center, and then there's a chat too in the app that all the people going will offer advice, or hey, I need another ticket, or can I get a ride here? It's just a really cool community in there. So make sure you download that when they release it, which should be pretty soon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people will be theorizing and all that good stuff and talking about that. So get that and just be checking out their website for the updates and the announcements and kind of get an idea what you want to see beforehand, because we went blind last year, man.
We did.
We pulled in the convention. We drove 16 hours straight, arrived at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
in Orlando, Florida.
Yep.
And just immediately went and got in line.
Yeah. We thought we'd be good. We thought we'd be.
Man, it was exhausting.
We had to walk like 2 miles to get in the line for
Yeah.
the 40th, and we actually missed it.
We
So-
missed it. We waited in
Well,
line that
we
whole
didn't
time.
understand the
We
queuing
didn't
system.
know. Yeah.
When we got in there, so.
Yeah. But he's close. Maybe he's closer, than we'll be, and it'll be a little easier. But if you just be ready to wait, be ready to not get a lot of sleep,
If you think you're early,
you've already missed it.
you've already missed it.
Like, if you have any inkling of an idea of like, hey man, maybe we should leave early, like you're already, it's too late.
Yeah, by
It's
thinking.
just too late.
Yep. Yeah. So that was a great question. I love reminiscing about Celebration,
Yeah.
and we're going to look forward. We're going to be planning and getting that all underway. Big 5-day convention. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of fun. What else we got?
We got one more voicemail, and I believe this gentleman left us an email. You might have to pull up the email.
Okay.
Because I think he just mentions that he left and he's really passionate about what he's writing about, and he's hoping we could talk about it. So I'll just go
is
ahead
this the?
Oh, it's a big one.
Okay, let me see here.
It's a big one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just play this just to make sure
Okay.
I'm not missing anything.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just left an email on the account that y'all list online. I just want to make sure that y'all check it. I'm super passionate about this random idea that I have, so I emailed it to y'all. Just want y'all to check it out. All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Didn't get a name. Didn't get a call sign. Just please leave your call sign.
Which one is? So I've got. Let's see. That's
Pull up.
not. Oh, is it the? I bet I'm gonna go on a limb here.
It's from the 9th
It's from the 9th.
of December. Yeah, it was a little older
Aha.
one we didn't get to.
That helps a lot. Okay, here we go. Okay.
I have
Yes,
to post
Nathan.
this. Nathan might just have to join the group and post this, man, because it's long and it's in depth.
Wait a second.
Wait, I think
What?
Nathan's in the group. Maybe actually, might be mistaken.
No. I think it's a different Nathan.
Different Nathan?
though.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we have Nathan Edinson in the group, and then
Okay.
so what I have here, this is from December 9th, and this is Nathan Agnew, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this is who
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
it. That's
okay.
it. Yep.
So I did read this. Remember, I told you needed. Remember, I texted you and I said you've got to read this.
Yeah.
So I've read this actually. Have
I
you?
don't think I
have
got
you?
a chance to. No.
Okay.
No.
So let me read this to
Let's
Mike.
read it live.
Yeah, let me read this to him, and we'll discuss it here. So, episode 5. No, I am your father. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. Luke's hand gets walloped off and falls into a gigantic hole in space. Pre-production on 7. Internet finds out the first scene in episode 7 is Luke's hand floating through space. They think that's dumb, which observably is indeed dumb. J.J. Abrams finds out that it got leaked, and in spite, decides to cut the scene from the movie, which is told inside the director's cut. He thinks, and I did hear that somewhere, right? That it got leaked, and that
yeah.
he was upset about that, and so to spite it, kind of goes ahead and cuts it. So. Episode 7 movie begins with Poe and Lor San Tekka, High Priest of the Church of the Force. On Jakku, we see Rey. She's adorable, wearing a helmet with a name written on the side, Captain Rey. Later find out she's orphaned, probably took the name from the helmet. Later she's showing incredible Force powers. Where the heck is that from? She goes to Maz's castle, gets drawn towards a lightsaber that doesn't belong to her, and sees events that happened when... Episode 5 on Sky City, when Luke's hand gets chopped off. So yeah, right there on Bespin, in episode 5. Someone asked Maz where it came from. She says that's a story for another time, which foreshadows that we will find out exactly where it came from. Which
We better.
we've taltalked about. We need
Oh,
that.
yeah.
A lot of stuff
That
happened in that
cutscene.
conversation with Maz and Han
Yep.
that need to be answered. Hux and Kylo have a fight. Kylo says, I will have you replaced by a clone army. Rewatch the movie. It's there. He's right. He does talk about they bring up clones.
Yeah, maybe
in
we
there.
should use a clone army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-production on 8. Every fan is wondering who her parents are, looking in the absolute wrong direction. Ryan Johnson heard all of the theories and decided to screw with everyone. So he threw it all in the trash, or so it seems. It comes out that the scene from the beginning of 7 had a bunch more footage. Okay.
Yeah.
There was originally Sith treasure seekers canon that search for artifacts like the Inquisitors searching for Jedi. It's told that they locate the hand and lightsaber from a filthy junk trader.
Yeah.
Okay. So it got in the hands of the First Order before coming to Maz. How did Maz get it? Episode 8. Rey asks Kylo who her parents are. He answers, they're nobody. I'm sorry. Rey asks Kylo who her parents are. They're nobody. Not exactly a lie. He kind of says, you know who they are, and she says they're nobody.
Yeah.
Right. We see later that the Force users are still around. The little boy. So at the end of 8, we see the boy with the Force pulling the broom towards him, the broomstick. Leaked plot for 9. There's an underwater facility on the Outer Rim with slaves and genetic experiments, Nazi style. Kylo is a benevolent dictator, Nazi style. Kylo usurps all the power. Rey has to break out the slaves and free the captives. In conclusion, what are they doing in the facility? Genetic experiments on Force users in order to create a Force-sensitive super soldier. Every bit of the Imperial technology has been improved upon so far. So talking about, the cloaking, talking about the tracking through hyperspace, Starkiller base to the AT-AT, guerrilla machines on the Salt Planet, on Crate there. Why hasn't cloning been done? Why haven't we, made advancements there? When obviously Kylo Ren mentions it in Episode 7. Well, the story for another time is that Maz broke into the underwater facility years ago before the First Order became a galactic ruler. There they found something, Luke's hand, a lightsaber, and a prototype super soldier.
Just like it seems like the Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Yeah. Let's see. A girl. So the super soldier being a girl, right? Let's see. What do we do with this thing? We can't just kill it. Okay. We send it to General Leia. What does she do? Send the child to be watched on a desert planet by a wise Ben Kenobi. Wait, sorry. I meant to say Lor San Tekka, high priest of the Church of the Force, just like Luke. So icing on the cake here, when Rey asks the Force who her parents are on Luke's island, what does she see in the mirror? Herself. Over and over and over and over and over again. She's a clone.
Man, I think Nate needs to write a script for Episode 9.
Well, we've talked about actually doing something kind of fun with folks, which is,
we have.
We start a scene and you finish it.
You finish it.
Tell us where it goes. Because this is cool. He's describing a scene, that could be, it's again, air quote, plot leak, right? The idea that Maz is going to break into an underwater facility. What if he's spot on?
Is it Mon Cala?
That could be. I mean, who knows what they've got going on there? You wouldn't think, but
who knows?
Who knows? We haven't got an update in a while.
No.
As to what's happening there. So, yeah, that's interesting. And I'm going to be honest with Nathan.
You got to be, man. That's what it's
here's
all
the thing. It wouldn't surprise me, actually. It really wouldn't, because I don't know a way in which they can make Rey a Skywalker.
Yeah.
I cannot think of it unless they use Mara Jade, and I want her to be one. And I think we're hoping that either the Skywalker bloodline will continue through Ben or it's Rey.
Yeah.
And those are your only two options, I feel like. And so unless there's some child that was hidden or something that's going to emerge, that people have talked about Rey holding a baby, finding a baby, and so that's this.
Oh, Mike Zero's talked about that.
Yeah, is that Mike Zero?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there it is.
Well, we think.
Throw that out the window. Forget that. But so there's that idea that there could be something. How do we keep the Skywalker bloodline continuing?
Yeah.
So if there's no obvious answer in like actual parents, a clone wouldn't surprise me. Now I'll be honest. I hope it's not that. Yeah. I hope just this is me personally.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with. There's a lot of evidence actually. That could. I mean, that could be the big twist. We've had a clone war. We've had a bunch of Jango Fett's running around, You know,
That's true.
crazy stuff. I mean, we actually have a lot of different things in the Legends books where they talk about old clones that had survived for years.
That's something I forget about too when we talk about cloning. I'm just like, nah, I'm out. But it's like it's canon.
It's a big and,
I mean,
they're
it's all of episode 2.
Yeah, and they're real characters
Yeah.
that end up. People love Rex. You
Yeah.
know, they love all those characters, and
Yeah.
they love. And isn't that kind of bizarre that we have all these clone troopers running around? They, you know, you've got Fives and whoever else. They're all they each have their own different personality.
Yeah.
But they're clones, man.
Yeah.
You know, and Boba actually has to kind of, you know, learn how to navigate all of that, and encounters, you know,
Yeah. Like,
other brothers, you know, that
Yeah.
he has. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, I guess, that they would take that cloning technology. Here's one of the things is that in, I think it was Legacy of the Force, Bloodlines, Boba Fett is trying to figure out, he's dying, you know, and he's trying to figure out how to heal himself. He goes back, gosh, I just blanked on the planet. Episode 2. Golly, on the Outer Rim. Help me out. I'm not going to be able to move on. I'm not going to be able to move on.
the cloning
Camino,
Camino.
thank you.
I almost
Dude,
said Geonosis.
There's
but
so much going on in my
know,
head.
me
I
too.
can't keep all those. I can't keep it all straight. So on Camino, yeah, he goes back and he's looking for some of the scientists there, and he's trying to kind of hopefully figure out the technology. And it's super coveted technology that it's something that was used in the Legends books. You've got cloning going on with the Emperor, with Thrawn.
You know what would be kind of
I
cool,
mean-
though? I would kind of like to see Boba return to Camino because he lived there.
I know he did.
They
Yeah,
know him.
exactly.
Boba, welcome back. Like,
Yeah,
that
her
would
name?
be cool. That'd be cool.
Tong Wee or
Tong Wee.
Yeah. So actually, I think that's one of the people he seeks out.
Yeah.
To try to get some of that, like to get a doctor to kind of help him
Yeah.
figure out what's going on with his
crazy.
body. So
I agree with you, man. Like it fits in the Star Wars universe, but I don't know if it fits in this trilogy.
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's canon, and sometimes I forget that cloning is canon.
it's a big deal.
And there's a lot of it. And these people survived, and they lived for many, many decades. It was successful.
Yep.
So, and like you said, they have very independent personalities. So it could happen. It just doesn't seem like it fits in this trilogy. That would just be too much of a shock. You know, I want it to be, I want it to feel organic when it happens, when we find out who she is. You know what I'm saying? Because
I get you.
if we just find out she's cloned, I'm like, I don't know if that fits. I don't know.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I'm just trying to look up all the different folks who have gone through cloning, because you even have like Star Killer, right? You've
Yep.
got Galen.
Which is a very similar story to what he was kind of portraying, was that Star Killer.
That super
origins.
soldier
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah. So that had happened. Gosh, man, you've got some. I mean, you've got things as crazy as having being conceived by midichlorians. I think we accept it more because it was sort of like a virgin birth, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that takes place, and so we're like, oh, okay, it's the midichlorians. Man, it's just tough. It's tough to think about. I personally want there to be a Mara Jade, Skywalker connection. That's me. That's as fanboying on Luke Skywalker hardcore. If this happens and she is a Skywalker, and there's some weird dynamic that Luke has to kind of, maybe he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Obviously they took his hand and they used that, and so he's somehow, she's and I hate to say this, but like a hand baby, or they're doing genetic manipulation. So perhaps elements of Palpatine. You look at her lightsaber thrust and the way that she's fighting, her fighting style. A lot of people have drawn attention to that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Those are the little subtleties that keep you interested of maybe it could happen. And I don't know, man. I like I said, there's so much there with the lightsaber itself and the visions she has that just aren't there in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of jarring, because one minute she's freaking out. She's like, I'll never touch that thing again. And The Last Jedi, it's just kind of willy-nilly. Like, nothing. She never has any more visions. Maybe that was just the Force itself really awakening in her, and after that it's not going to happen anymore. But, like, they could do it. I just don't know if it would be the right thing for what they've created in this trilogy.
It'd be shocking, though.
It would be shocking.
It would be shocking.
And that could be the way they win back those fanboys that were so upset by the things that they saw in The Last Jedi.
Well,
who knows?
One thing they've done around Rey that I think is interesting is they've actually laid a lot of evidence for a Kenobi connection, for a Palpatine connection, for
crazy.
a Skywalker connection. So you see her lightsaber fighting style. You see Obi-Wan speaking to her in a Force vision. You see her drawn to the Skywalker lightsaber.
The visions of her and Bespin and all this. Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot of different things that are kind of, if they're making a super soldier, maybe they've incorporated a lot of different elements. Yeah. You know, and who was making that? The First Order? Was that Snoke? You know, you feel like he would have had some more recognition of her and who she is. I don't know.
Was she the contingency plan?
And also, I mean, yeah, gosh, I don't know. Well, and then there's this idea that if she is this super soldier, I mean, she's the prototype. Maybe things got better after her. Maybe they perfected something, and there's a dark side Rey.
She fights herself. That would be.
She fights a dark side Rey.
That would be insane, and Kylo and her have to defeat it.
It would be nuts. It would be crazy.
That'd be bananas, man. I just can't see that happening.
Hey,
but
well, here's
never
the thing.
say never.
No, and so Nathan, I love it, man. It's a cool. You're right. There is a lot of different things here that do kind of point to that being an option. So, yeah. I've heard different folks talk about it, and Again, just because we don't want it to happen doesn't mean that there's a lot of things people didn't want to have happen in The Last Jedi that happened.
Right. You're right.
So we're gonna have to figure out. I have to come to terms with it, my friend.
We've got a year.
There's a high chance it could happen.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right. That's the voicemails, man.
Awesome, man.
I mean, that was a lot. Do we want to hold off on the group chat?
Yeah,
for a bit?
What we'll do next time, we'll bring in. I'm just going to give you guys a quick little plug here. So we've got Nate Edinson, we've got Hawk, we've got Jory, Wade, Lindsay Gadati, and others here who have hit us up in the group and are leading us in some threads,
yeah.
with some good discussion. And I thought we would kind of talk about that at one point. We'd love to have some more voicemails, hear your guys' thoughts and theories. And again, if 3 minutes is not long enough, man, send us that audio file. You know, if you need, 5-6 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your theories, your thoughts, and discuss them here on the show. So about once a month, I think we're gonna, if we have enough, we'll pull them out. And we'll see what we have and go from there. So
absolutely, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything else?
No, man. This is good. I love the voicemails. Yeah. I love them. I love the group too. Like I said, it pleases me every time I open it, and it's just a bunch of nerds sweating it out. And I love
great.
It. It's so entertaining and enjoyable. And I'm so glad there's other people out there that are just as passionate as we are. And it comes through in everything they do. Everyone's just respectful of each other. I even see disagreements sometimes, and people are just respectful, man. I like that. I totally get it, man.
Yeah, and when you're speculating on things like this, Nathan's, theory, people may not like it.
Yeah.
But, some people really do. There's a Generation Tech and a couple other, podcasts that are talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's not being talked about. Just because we haven't talked about it doesn't mean it's. So again, I want to completely respect every, theory and thought that comes across, because who knows, man?
Yeah. I know.
Especially when you get that kind of evidence to back it up.
You're right. You're right.
But anyways, keep sending those. Again, our voicemail number is 614-547-2570. And again, that's just 3 minutes. If you want to send the audio file, definitely do that. You can send it to Rebel Watch Podcasting at gmail.com. All of those links and that information is down in the description, so you guys can check that out there too. Yeah. Hop into that Facebook group. Hit us up at Rebel Watch Podcasting on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at RW2187. You can follow me on Twitter at Womprat_2M. And Mike is out there on Instagram. We got to get Mike on Twitter, guys.
Ooh, it's tough, man.
Can we push Mike a little bit here?
I just don't know if I have enough to say. Of course I do.
No,
it's just hard
I
to
don't
put
say
it down.
a lot. I don't say a whole lot, man.
Yeah.
It's just kind of.
It's tough.
I would love to see your thought. I would also love to see you get out there. Because that Star Wars community of podcasters, YouTubers, it's strong on Twitter. There's a lot.
I think I've got a contingency plan for the Twitter.
Okay.
So I've got a contingency plan. But
all right,
a happy New Year to everyone.
Yes,
and we couldn't. We really wouldn't do this if we didn't have such passionate friends to share it with.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, hell, actually, I'd podcast for one person if they're listening. But
Yeah, I would too. But
it helps to have.
It does make you feel good.
It does, man, and it helps to have people just. You just know that you're not alone out there, and that's why I love Star Wars, man. It's a big galaxy, and there's a lot of love out there. So thanks for all you guys do and all the support. And I think 2019 is going to be a big year for us. I think we've got some good ideas.
We have some big plans.
Some I don't know, as some blogs. Maybe we'll have some of our our group. Let's call them founding members.
Yeah,
people have been there with us.
Well,
we got Hawks. Time.
We got Hawks and Adam still on right now.
Still on,
Jory.
And folks like Jory and those guys that really, are putting in the time, looking for contributors, maybe to write a little bit of stuff,
Right.
Let's go out there. Let's write some scripts. Let's write some editorials.
Mm-hmm. I know. So we're talking about a blog. We're talking about vlogging some of our 2-hour setup that we do beforehand too.
Yeah.
We got some cool things. We're revamping the Patreon page. Thank God, finally.
Absolutely.
We were doing that before January is over.
That's right.
Dear Lord, that's been a catastrophe. So that's
okay.
Our
That's
apologies.
okay.
But it's a new year, and so we thought we'll wait till the new year, table it, and we'll get something started there. Something that's more manageable for Mike and I to get after. And I mean, both of us now have what do we call it? Like our foot's down on the gas pedal.
Oh, we do.
And
Absolutely.
so it's
There's no stopping us.
S-foils are locked in attack position, so we are
That's
ready
right.
to go.
That's right.
So stay tuned. If you have any suggestions for us, though, definitely hit us up. We'd love to hear some of those. We want to make the show just the best that we can. We want a good, positive community, here on Rebel Watch, and we actually do have quite a few solid collaborations coming up, and we've actually hit up some pretty big folks,
absolutely,
to come collaborate with. So
That's right.
we're excited.
That's right.
So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks again for listening, and as always, may the Force be with you.